Hi folks, in our last video we did some testing in Foundry and we were passing in Ether into the contracts and testing that way, but I'm just going to show you today how we would do it if we were looking to interact with ERC20 tokens, how we would create an ERC20Mock and how we would pass it into our contract and so on. So I've just created a token wallet.sol file and a token wallet.t.sol file here just to get us moving fairly quickly. So for this contract we're only going to need a couple of variables, so it's going to be a mapping. It's going to be from address user to their uint 256. The tokens are going to deposit into the contract public. And we just call it balances, same as last time. Then we're going to need an address public, and this is going to be our allowed token. Then we're going to have a constructor, and our constructor is going to take in an address. It's just going to be, I'd call it a allowed token as well, like this. And then what we will do, we'll just say allowed token is equal to the passed in allowed token. Okay. We're just going to do one function. You just do function deposit tokens, and it's going to be public. What we're going to do in here is we're going to take in address of the token and the amount of the token. You went to 256 amount. Okay. Then within here, we're going to do a couple of checks. Do require, and what we really want to do here is we're going to say check that the token that's passed in is equal to the allowed token that we've set above in our constructor. If not, token not allowed. And then we'll just check the amount of it. Require, say amount greater than 0. Otherwise, 0 tokens sent. Okay. Effects. There's going to be no interactions. We're just going to do balances of message.sender. We'll do plus equals, and it's the amount that they've sent. Okay. And that's it. That's our bare bones of our contract. We're just going to move over to our test now. Okay, so I have the imports done already on this. I'm just going to do a couple of variables to start off. Variables are going to be, it's going to be token wallet public. I'll just call it wallet. Then we're going to do address public. I'll just call it Bob like last time. We can make ADDR Bob or whatever you like to get that wallet created. And then we're going to do uint 256 public, and we just call it starting balance. I'll just call it 10,000. It's going to be starting balance for Bob ERC20Mock. Okay, so save that. And I might have to commit, so just commit 1, I'll do. Okay, and just going to do forge, install, let's open Zeppelin, contracts. Yeah, let's do the trick. Okay. What I'll do now is import the ERC20Mock. It's going to be ERC20Mock from. Now, where is from? It's going to be from lib. What I'll do, I'll just go into lib, open Zeppelin contracts, and mocks are there. Let me see if I can find the ERC20Mock token. There we are there. So I'm just going to copy the path to that, copy relative path, and hopefully that does the trick. Okay. Just do this. Okay. Do ERC20Mock. no, public. I'm going to just call it allowed test token. Okay, fine. That's great. Save that. Then we're going to do a function setup public. Okay, and in our setup, what we're going to do is we're going to set up our wallet, which is going to be wallet new token wallet, and as we said, in our token wallet, in our constructor, we take in and allow a token. So what we're doing here is we're creating the ERC20 token, and we're going to pass it in here. As you see, if I hover over that, wrong argument count for function call, 0 arguments given but 1 expected. So it's expecting that that we pass in a token. And of course, if we didn't pull in this ERC20Mock, we wouldn't have a token to do. So last time we were working with Ether, but now we're actually going to be using the ERC20Mock to do it. So for this one now, we're just going to say allowed test token. And that should, let me see what that's saying, token wallet, invalid argument type. Okay, so I think maybe do I need to do address, like this maybe. Okay, that should be okay. Because I've declared it as an ERC20Mock here, what's happening is when I'm trying to pass it in, it's telling me that that the function is expecting an address. And even though it's a type of address, it's we've actually declared it as an ERC20 within the contract here. So that's fine, just wrap it in address and then we should be okay. Okay, so that will create our new token, our new wallet contract. Okay, what we'll also need to do is we will need to do VM deal and give Bob some ETH. We've already done a couple of things above start and balance, so I'll give Bob some ETH. So this is great instance of our contract. And then up here, what we're going to do before this is we're actually going to initialize and create ERC20Mock. So again, up here we have already created. We've already have our variable allowed. What do I call it? Allowed test token. There we go. Equals new ERC20 mock. Like that. And now on this, what we'll need to do is we will need to do allowed test token, and we do .mint, and we're going to give Bob, and we're going to give him 50 E18 tokens. And that should be our setup done. Then we have, so we've created our wallet and our allowed test token. So and then here we've created our ERC20Mock. We've given Bob some of the tokens, and then we have created the wallet, and we've given Bob a starting balance, which is fine. Okay. So moving on, I'm going to go to the first function for the test. So function, and we'll just call it test, and we will call it how we call it? We say token accepted. Just call it token accepted. Actually, it should be fine. Public, and the reason I'm just going to call it token accepted is we're going to do a VM prank as Bob. We're going to call deposit tokens, and we're going to send in tokens and an amount. And in order for it to be accepted, it should pass these requires. So if it passes these requires, when we then call the balances of Bob, we should see whatever we've passed through. So that's what I'm going to do as our test. Okay, so from here, we're going to do VM.start prank, and we're going to be pranking as Bob. And I will I'll stop the prank here as well, just to have it there. And what we're doing is on our wallet, we're going to call deposit tokens, and we're going to deposit and we're just going to do address, and we're going to wrap it, and we're going to do allow a test token, and we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, just so it's a bit more readable. That's fine. And then what we'll do is, I think it's we're going to say, for clarity, I'm going to do it this way. I'm just going to do uint. Let me see, Bob balance. I could just put this in the assert directly, but I'm actually going to call it here. I think it's just easier to do it. So, wallet balances, and we do balances of Bob. That should return the ERC20. Sorry, that should return whatever Bob has in the contract, which after we've deposited tokens should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we're going to do assert equals. I want to see Bob balance is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So this test should pass. forge test. There we go, it's passing, and what we'll do now is we'll just do dash VVVVV, just have a look at the call stack on it. As you can see, here's our call stack. So setup is running. It's creating a new ERC20Mock token. Then it's minting those tokens to Bob. As you can see, that's a 50E18 or 5E19 as it says there. Transfer them to Bob. Then it's saying the new token wallet at this address, and then it's dealing Bob 10,000 ETH. And now coming down to our test, what we're doing is we're starting the prank as Bob. We're depositing the tokens again. This is the token we're depositing in, and as you can see, this is the same address as the mock because that's the one we're using. And then that's how much it's passing in. And then what's happening here is the test is passing because it's calling on balances of Bob on a token wallet, and it's returning that, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if we were to change this and we were to say, we'd say 7, this test should then fail. And there we are, it's failing now because it's not the same amount being returned. So that's it. It's just a quick video on how to essentially how to use ERC20Mock in here when we're working with tokens. We could go on now and we could do a test. We could test our requires and stuff like that. And what you'd want to do here is you might want to create a second ERC20Mock and pass it in. So what you do is, again, in your setup, what you're doing is in your setup, what you're doing is you're passing in the allowed test token, but you might do another one, say called ERC20Mock public, not allowed token or something like that, and you create that, and you give Bob some of them, and you try to send them into the contract using deposit. And what you should do is you should run an expect revert, and it'll revert as token not allowed, and then you should send in 0 tokens, and you should get tokens 0 tokens sent. But I won't do them in this video because I think you should be able to, based on this, do them yourself. So hope that helps.